Hey guys, this is Lucas, and today we're going to have a look at how we can push something to this page, GitHub, as a programmer or developer. And we just want to actually show the world what we are working on, and share our code, like here, my blog, or my calculator app, or my physics formula calculator for JavaScript, or in JavaScript, that is in Swift, HTML and CSS is in JavaScript, and you can post everything you really want to. So the GitHub community is really huge, and we will just also learn how we can use Git. So to get started with Git, you actually just need your computer and you need your command line. If you do not have a Mac, you need to Google now how to get started with Git, but I'm just going to show you the little commands to really do something with it. So what Git is that it is Git is a distributed version control system. So you can work with other developers together, for example, to work on the same code. And this is really helpful, or actually useful, for any kind of work that you do. And you can also keep track of the changes you actually make to it, and if you really want to change these. So let's start off and select a folder we want to have a project in that we will push, that is what we call it, to GitHub. So we will go here in GitHub and create a new repository. That's where all our files are in, and we're going to call this video. This is for a YouTube video. Well, this is public and not private, and we don't have any language in here really now. And it will also actually understand what language that is. So let's create a repository, and you actually see what we have to do for all of it. But the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to clone this repository to a folder that we just want to create now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and create a new folder and call it video, or no, let's just call it GitHub. I have one in my documents folder, but I just want to have one that I can delete after this video. So you can select this folder by saying cd and then drag and drop it right into here. And you see you actually have your direction to this folder. Hit enter and you see you have just selected it, and we can now clone our project to this folder that we have just created. So git clone, then https github.com / our username minus Lukas, and then repository name.git. Clone it, and you will find a folder in here that is actually, well, there's nothing in here. So let's just go and select this folder, and now that we have all of this, we want to actually add something to it. So we're going to say nano readme.md, and we can write in welcome to my new repository that I have pushed to GitHub for the first time ever. I'm really excited on how this is going to work out in the future. Or just something like this. Then hit Control and X, say Y for yes, and hit Enter, and you see your README file has just been created, and everything is fine. By the way, if you have not cloned it from GitHub and you want to create one, create a folder and then say git init, and then folder name. But we don't need to do this. So now that we have this file, type in get status, and you see that something about committed or committing is talked about here, and something about tracking. So committing is actually telling this whole Git that there is this change, and you can now really add it to your, to Git and say this is now approved, I have this change. And what tracking is that when you have this kind of new file and you want to commit it, you can just add it, or you can commit all changes. So you don't have to track them, you can just commit all changes, but sometimes you just want to say that you have changed something specific. So now we have created a README, and what we can do now is we can either add it like this, git add and then readme.md, or we can simply say git commit a, so -a for all minus m, and then the message adding readme.md. We're gonna say enter, and you see that didn't work. Why? As I just said, it doesn't work because we haven't added it. So how do we do this? Well, just as I said, get add readme.md, and now that we have added it, we can check if it's really there. Yeah, it's there. We can now really commit it, since that did not work out earlier. So git commit, and then message, we can say adding our readme.md, as I just wanted to do it before. But now it worked, and we can really check this. Yeah, that works. And here you see your branch is based on origin master. So you always have a branch. So a branch is kind of your main directory, or it's kind of like your, imagine you had a path, all right? The path where you just work on. You have one straight line that your code is written, and your whole project is built in, or on a path, sorry. So you have this path, and then suddenly you may have got a bigger path that just has some ways out there because you actually want this. You want to make much more to your project. You want to add more, and it will get more complex, and you are not quite sure if these changes will be the final project at the end. So what you can do is you can create branches, but most cases you don't actually need this, so I'm not going to talk about it, but I just want to explain you what this actually does. So now that we have really nothing, let's check it again. You see we have nothing in here anymore, but we actually want to add just one line of code or something. I'm just going to go to one thing that I created, API practice. That is what I call it. So we want to add this. And as you see, there is something. We're just going to add that, API practice.playground, and it's added. And then we're going to commit these changes again, adding API practice.playground. And it's added. Is it really there? Yes, it's there. There's nothing in there that's not been added so far. And we can now just push, as we actually wanted to do it, to GitHub. Since everything is ready to commit it, that everything is committed now, we can push it. So now we're just gonna go here and copy and paste this line of code that you will always get here. And you actually see that we had all these things. We had add, init, commit, and the message. So you actually can learn all of that I just showed you right on here. So now we're just gonna paste that by Command and V, and then we're gonna say enter, and you see it's just been uploaded or pushed. Let's reload this page. And yes, you see, there is something in here now. We have a playground in here now, and we have our README file in here now that actually is right here, always been opened. And you have these branches that I actually told you about. And master is the standard one, that is the main one, and you can change the default one as you just saw. Here's our description, and everything is ready. And if you don't want this to be here on GitHub anymore, you can simply delete it by settings. Then you have to delete this repository and type in your name. I understand these consequences, and delete this repository, and there it is. Or actually, not anymore. It's away. We just deleted it. So that's been it. You just learned about Git, you learned how to push something to GitHub, and you can now work with more people. You can now share your code with the world and get feedback or whatever, and interact with other people who also push their code to GitHub. So I'm gonna see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.